moves are so brilliant, so unexpected, they don't just change the game, they rewrite chess history. In this video, we'll dive into 5 of the most legendary moves ever played. Moves that stunned opponents, baffled grandmasters, and left fans speechless. From jaw-dropping sacrifices to mind-bending tactics, these are the moments that define true genius on the board. Let's get into this magic. Take this position for example. It looks like white doesn't have a solid or concrete attack at the moment. White stuns everybody and play this queen sacrifice, threatening mate in 1 if black doesn't respond to the threat. Black is actually forced to capture, and he does that. And oh, this is even where the brilliant move starts from, as the follow-up is really mad. White continues by giving a check, and oh my god, this is brilliance at its peak. Obviously the white king must move, and regardless of where he moves to, it's still the same idea basically. If he moves here, you can simply come up with your rook, and according to the engine, the best defense is playing queen to c5. In this particular position, white played something even brilliant. He sacrificed the rook, or how do they say it? The rook! So here, black can basically give a check, and once he captures it, he comes here with his bishop to block the check, but all in all, mate is actually inevitable. And this is the list among the 5 greatest moves in chess. So like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned, because oh, this puzzle will blow your mind. Black in this position uncocked god level of brilliancy, as in this position black sacrificed the bishop. This move at first sight seems like a misclick or a mouse slip, but then the idea hits me. You see, black has a passed pawn on the a5 and also has a passed pawn on the d5, so it makes sense to sacrifice your bishop, and the moment white takes, you come up with your king. Now the idea is basically to reach e4 with your king, and soon enough the plan becomes even clearer. Capturing this pawn is a blunder on its own, as you can simply cut off the bishop, and no matter what the king does, this pawn is getting through, like it's already a passed pawn. Now let's back off. White doesn't take the pawn, right? White doesn't take black's pawn on f6, but rather moves his king. Now in this position, he can hit the bishop move back, and you definitely push this pawn. I see in this position white is out of moves, as you can just keep pushing, and in no time you have 3 passed pawns storming down the board with only 1 king to defend. So fasten your seatbelt, because this greatest move of all times, played by a 26+ rated grandmaster, is out of this world. And if you think the first and second example I showed you is genius, wait till you find out this move. This move, white just gave up the queen, and now this has serious ideas. You cannot capture the queen like this, because then it's mate. You cannot still capture the queen with the queen, because then the mate still applies. So what do you do in this position? First of all, the best move is actually to come here with your knight. Even at that, it's losing, but then it makes the losing less. So what, black grabbed the queen with his rook, defending the square, and black still gave a check. And this is a deflection sacrifice, because once he takes and the rook takes back, he can jump in, give a check to the king, and the rook blocks, which obviously you can take. The rook blocks again, you can still take, and this is mate. How brilliant is this, that from this particular position a mate was found? This is like mate in 7, something most of us haven't found in our entire lives. Oh, and this is the very famous queen sacrifice, the most brilliant queen sacrifice history has ever held. As in this position, this grandmaster queen was attacked, then he played this stunning move, queen to g3, and now this move is brilliant, because no matter how you take, the game is losing. Now let's take for example, he takes with the pawn on the f5. You can simply give a check, the king must move, and it's mate. Now let's say he takes with this other pawn. Oh, this is even worse, as it just mate instantly. Let's say he takes with the queen, which is actually the best thing to play. He gives a check, the king moves, give another check, the king must move, and you can just pick up the rook, and life is good because regardless of what white plays, I mean, you have a knight up. And if you are watched up to this extent, you're about to see the greatest move of all times, as in this position white sacrificed the queen. Now the king definitely must capture. Once the king does that, he capture the bishop, giving a double check to the king. He comes up, he give another check, and the king must come up, and then you push your pawn 2 squares forward, hitting the king, give him another check, and this puzzle is just so brilliant that I don't even know where to start from. This is just pure brilliancy. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.